Greetings adventurers! I'm back with another story brought to you from Reddit, and Am I the A-hole? But this time we're doing D&D Drama Edition. So we're gonna jump right into this next story. So this one is, Am I the A-hole for hating this guy that joined our D&D campaign late? Okay, hate's a strong word, but let's get into it, see what's going on. Prefacing this by saying, I am an autistic woman. The man who joined is an autistic man. My question stems from wanting an outside opinion on if I'm valid in my dislike or if it's stemming from internal ableism towards autistic people. And if the latter is the case, I will need to have a sit down with myself and figure my stuff out. Okay, so we love a self-aware OP, and just because she is autistic herself doesn't mean that there's not going to be any internalized ableism. So it's cool that we're kind of starting on that footing of, you know, she's really looking to more so ground herself. And honestly, this seems like maybe it would be more appropriate for an Am I the Overreacting, not necessarily an a-hole, but let's see what this guy did. So I'm in a D&D group with my husband, 2 other married couples, a married man, and a single man. This is a lot of people. Now, with the addition of another single man, in total 6 men, 3 women. Okay, without the additional person, we'd already had 7 sessions and have built a specific vibe for our party, and while very chaotic, it was working. All right, totally understandable. That's a party, that's 9 people. I'm assuming one of them is the DM, but still 8 people is, that's gonna be a big game to run. That takes a lot more time, energy, and effort when you have that many players, and it can really kind of slow down just play and make the vibes a little off just because you have so many folks. So throwing one more into the mix, whether the new person's cool or not, is still kind of the DM taking a big risk. I mean, I've DM'd so many games, and usually I cap my players at 6. I don't want to run a game with more than 6 at the table just because it really does. It slows down combat. It makes it harder to integrate character arcs, personal character arcs, and customize things in the game when you have too many people. So yeah, that's a lot of people. So I get very chaotic. My issue begins when the new guy is introduced to our characters. This specific session, the other woman couldn't make it, and so I was the only one. Everyone at the table knows I'm not very good with new people and can take a few meets to warm up to them. Totally fair, OP. This new man introduced his character by yelling at us to stop while we're trekking through the woods, running over to my character, grappling, or in his words, hugging her, and refusing to let her go. Okay, that's a little weird, a little bit of a weird way to... I mean, to be fair, it's always awkward when you're introducing someone new in the middle of a campaign. There's a lot of people struggle with how to integrate a new party member when you're already going through the campaign, so I get it. That can be a little awkward, but that does seem like an odd choice for this guy. But let's see. I made an off comment about how creepy that would be that a random man would come up to a woman and grapple her in the woods and then not say anything else, which he then proceeded to reiterate that he was hugging her multiple times, which I then said that hugging makes it even creepier. Honestly, I agree with that point. I think that is weirder. And I'm good for you, OP, for voicing that right in the moment too. I was uncomfortable, and the DM could tell how weird it was making me feel since we have been friends for a long time, and so told me to do whatever would be your character's natural response in this situation. He reiterated that statement when I said I don't know if I want to do that because that would definitely not go well for this new character. DM had made it clear this new character was to be a party member. Okay, perfect. So you're kind of saying my character's reaction might be player versus player, and your DM's giving you the green light to go ahead with that. So that's nice. So I swung at him. I rolled low, so didn't actually hit, but the other men in the party were feeling protective and decided to escalate it. This new character was beaten to within an inch of his life. So, all right, it's, you know, true to form. When one player gets attacked, we all roll initiative. So it looks like your party has your back and your DM has your back, which is a good sign. But this all seems like it really did escalate very unnecessarily. I mean, what was this new guy still just holding on to your character? Let's see. While the combat was going on, about 20 minutes, this character turned out to be a barbarian, so was super beefy. Everyone was giving the player tips on how to de-escalate the situation. Tips like let her go or surrender, just say you're sorry, explain that you're friendly and didn't mean to start a fight. Okay, perfect. So the whole party is kind of trying to bail this guy out. They're trying to help him dig his way out of this hole and make peace with the party so he can be a party member. That's great too. So it seems like everyone is kind of doing as they should, except for this new guy. So I get why you're saying you don't like him already. All right, just a bit of side info. This new guy knew everyone but me. All the guys work together and know him, and I would say are very friendly / patient people, and we're doing this in a very calm way. Okay, good. So his friends are even telling him, hey man, you should end this. Okay. Eventually he surrendered and we went on with the session, but the entire night I just felt gross and creeped out. He made sure to say at every chance there was to speak throughout the real world night that his character was crying in a bush, even when combat was happening. Yeah, that seems like it's on him, and that does not seem like a lot of fun, right? I mean, if everyone's giving him an out and he still let the combat go on for 20 minutes before having his character surrender, and now he's kind of playing victim and saying he's crying in a bush all night. I mean, it's a game, right? D&D is a game. It's supposed to be fun, and that just doesn't sound like fun. This all just really seems unnecessary. It's making me not want to go to the next session because he will be there, and I can't tell if the reason for that is because of the situation or some unconscious bias about other autistic people that I need to locate in my mind and address. Or maybe it's even a bit of both. Honestly, this doesn't seem like it's about his autism. It seems like it's more about not respecting your boundaries and not listening when you said you were uncomfortable with that, and then also not even taking the right actions to resolve the situation, right? Because we all make missteps. We're all going to do something dumb every now and then, but you know, correcting that is going to be the biggest indication of whether or not that's a person you want to stay at your table. And he wasn't doing that. So I don't really see how his autism really comes into play here. This is more just about general table manners, respect, respecting boundaries. I asked my husband what he thought, and he agreed that it was super creepy and he didn't feel comfortable having this guy around me or my character, and so was feeling a bit protective both through his character and himself. He said he'll support me whatever my decision is, so no issues there. I just wanted a few other opinions before deciding how I feel about it all. Please help. Am I overreacting? So I think this is pretty cut and dry. I don't think you're overreacting. I also don't think this really has to do with autism. Again, it's about boundaries being crossed, and I love that your husband does have your back here. The only thing that I can say, you know, as far as like the autism is concerned, just like yourself, you mentioned it takes you a while to warm up to a new person, and I know that this guy isn't new to everybody else at the table, but he's new to the game and the group, right? So if anything, I would say you're definitely not overreacting. That is creepy, that is a little bit weird, but maybe give this guy another chance. He might just need to take some time to feel out the vibes of the group before he can seamlessly fit into the table, right? Because you've had 7 sessions together so far. The whole party wasn't even there that night. Maybe you could give him another chance, but I guess it would sort of depend on the vibes he was giving at the table. And if your husband's also feeling protective of you and saying he doesn't want you around this guy, it sounds like you're on the right track here. I don't think you're overreacting at all. But let's see what some comments say here. So first relevant comment I've got is, dude, you're autistic yourself and you presumably have manners. I don't care if it's because women are more easily taught how to mask or whatever. Dude needs to learn how to respect other people and their boundaries, and what you're describing ain't it. Yeah, see, that's exactly what I was saying. It's about boundaries and respect. It's not really about his autism. Another one, not the a-hole. I've had men think that grabbing, groping, etc. is okay in D&D simply because it's in a game. I've had to issue threats of in-game, probably can't say this word, removal of a certain appendage, and told the DM in no uncertain terms that I refused to play with people who thought that was okay. The DM tried to sweep it under the rug, but then again, said DM turned out to be a can't say that either, not great person as well, so I quit the table entirely. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to find a good group. It's even tougher to find a good DM, and it really does matter when you're playing a role-playing game like this where it can get very intimate. It's so important to have the right group of people to play with, right? It can really spoil the experience if you have a bad group. And this comment goes on to say, set your boundaries. You and your husband, and preferably everybody else at the table. Make it clear that his conduct, the initial hugging, and the pathetic attempt at guilt-tripping manipulation by saying he's crying in a bush was unacceptable, and another incident will see him booted. Yeah, I agree, right? This sounds like about the same, right? Maybe give him another chance. Again, it might depend on the depth, you know, none of us were there. We don't know how far he took it and how dramatic he was being with his guilt tripping. But yeah, maybe another chance is warranted. Oh, and we get an update on this one, so let's check this out. So 24 days later, thought I would update this since it's been a while since my post. Before the creepy guy was added to our campaign, DM asked my husband what he thought of inviting him, and my husband told him that he's a creep even at work, so why would they want him around their loved ones? DM said that he isn't that bad and invited him anyway, which led to this situation. Wow, okay, so maybe I take that back. If he's known to be a creep, if your husband has known he's a creep and has already sort of said, I don't want him at the table, and the DM charged forward with it anyways, it sounds like the DM is also not respecting boundaries. And if he's a creep in real life and it carried over to the table, it's probably not super likely that that's going to be corrected. And honestly, I don't know why the DM invited this guy then. I mean, if he asked for consent, didn't receive it, and he's making his own job harder. Again, we have 9 people sitting at this table now. That's a lot for a DM to manage. He's making his own job harder and going against their well-established group with good vibes in order to bring this new person in. That doesn't really sound like a great DM. But I don't know, maybe all you DMs out there can tell me what you would have done in that case. If you're thinking of inviting another member and other people in your party voice concerns, I mean, would you still have that person at your table? I don't think I would. But anyhow, going on. After it happened, I talked to everyone minus the DM in the party, and they all agreed after thinking about it that it was incredibly creepy and uncomfortable. I talked to DM about it after coming to consensus I wasn't overreacting, and while he apologized and said he would talk to him, he took his side and told me I should have said something, even though I did numerous times when it was happening. Yeah, right? OP did say something. I mean, we called that out earlier. The second it happened, she mentioned making comments about it, and then it literally even started a fight because her character was uncomfortable. So, I mean, she did say something. So now I'm starting to see this as more of a DM problem than this character. I mean, they're both... I wouldn't want to play out with either of these people at this point, but yeah. The week after the incident, barely anyone showed up, and the vibe was definitely strained. DM kept getting annoyed at people more than normal. A few people commented that this campaign feels like it's coming to an end and started talking about new characters they would like to make. And DM said it wouldn't be a problem since his world is open world, so he could just fit a new party in if needed. By the end of the session, everyone left feeling awkward and kind of off. My husband and I had plans the next 2 weeks, so we let the DM know. Apparently no one else showed up for those 2 weeks, and at the 3rd week, DM sent a message to the group chat that he was calling the end of the campaign. DM's wife is now ignoring me, and I already have a complex about how few friends I have. I'm a housewife, so I'm overall feeling like I'm to blame for the whole situation. What's done is done, but I did enjoy having Friday D&D nights, even if now we've apparently burned the bridge of our game friends. Honestly, that's a really sad update. That kind of breaks my heart a little bit. I mean, D&D is such a cool, magical game, and it really stinks that this one person was able to come in and disrupt the group that much and ruin that gaming experience. But yeah, I mean, it really does matter who's at your table, and honestly, if the DM was willing to allow that and invite people without everyone's consent, and now his wife is even icing you out, I mean, that stings. Maybe it's for the best. Hopefully you're able to find a better group of people to play with who understand respect and boundaries a little bit better in the future, but it kind of looks like that's all we've got on this story. So not a great ending, but hopefully you're able to find a new group to play with that meshes better together and respects you a little bit more. So good luck sending you crit 20s, and I hope you find a new party soon.